The pain was still fresh, sharp enough to steal her breath every time she thought about the invitation. Lying on her table, her ex's wedding. Friends told her not to go, to protect her dignity, to avoid reopening wounds that hadn't healed. But the thought of walking in alone, of enduring whispered judgments and pitying looks, felt even more unbearable. She didn't want revenge. She didn't want drama. She just wanted to stand tall and prove to everyone and to herself that she had survived the heartbreak. In a moment of desperation mixed with quiet courage, she made a request she never thought she would. She asked a powerful CEO, confident, composed, and completely out of her league, to accompany her as her date. It wasn't romantic, she told herself, just a shield, just a way to save face. Deep down, she was certain he would politely decline. Men like him didn't step into emotional chaos for someone else's past, but he surprised her. Instead of questioning her motives or offering excuses, he said yes calmly, decisively, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. His response left her stunned, her carefully built walls cracking for the first time in months. For the first time since the breakup, someone wasn't seeing her as broken or desperate, but as someone worth showing up for. As the wedding day approached, her fear slowly transformed into something unfamiliar. Hope. Not hope that her ex would regret his choice, but hope that maybe her story wasn't over yet. That sometimes healing doesn't come from running away from pain, but from facing it head on, with the right person standing beside you. What was supposed to be a simple agreement, nothing more than two people playing a role, for a single evening began to shift the moment they arrived together. The CEO didn't act like someone fulfilling a favor. He stayed close, not out of obligation, but with quiet intention. His hand at the small of her back, the way he matched his pace to hers, the calm confidence in his presence, it all felt real in a way she hadn't prepared for. As they moved through the wedding venue, whispers followed them, curious glances turned into stunned expressions. Yet he never flinched. Instead, he leaned in, asking softly if she was okay, reminding her she didn't owe anyone explanations. For the first time since her breakup, she felt protected, not controlled, not pitied, but genuinely supported. The arrangement was supposed to be fake, but his care wasn't. He remembered small details she'd mentioned in passing. He noticed when her smile faltered and steadied her without drawing attention. When her ex finally noticed them together, the CEO didn't posture or compete. He simply stood tall, confident in who he was and in the woman beside him. That confidence stirred something deep inside her. It forced her to confront uncomfortable truths about her past relationship. She remembered how often she had been made to feel like an option, how love had come with conditions and silence. Standing next to someone who showed up so effortlessly made her question why she had ever settled for less. Somewhere between polite conversations and shared laughter, the lines blurred. This wasn't just about saving face anymore. Her heart, once guarded and bruised, began to respond to the warmth she felt beside her. What started as an act slowly became something far more dangerous and far more beautiful. The possibility that her greatest heartbreak had unknowingly led her to the right person. The plan had been simple. He would escort her and stay long, enough to silence the whispers, then quietly leave before emotions could rise. She expected him to make an excuse when the ceremony began. Most people would. Sitting through the vows of the person who once broke her heart was not something anyone volunteered for. But he didn't move. As guests took their seats and the music softened, the CEO remained beside her, steady and unshaken. When she glanced at him, surprised, he offered only a calm smile, as if to say he wasn't going anywhere. That single decision changed everything. His presence wasn't loud or dramatic, yet it spoke volumes. He wasn't there to prove a point. He was there for her. As the bride and groom exchanged vows, she felt the familiar ache rise in her chest, but this time, she wasn't alone. When her hands trembled, his didn't let go. When her breath faltered, he leaned closer, grounding her in the moment. The past no longer felt like a wound, it felt like a chapter finally closing. Across the aisle, her ex noticed. Confusion flickered across his face, then disbelief. This wasn't the fragile woman he remembered. This was someone stronger, calmer, and deeply valued. The realization struck too late. By staying for the vows, the CEO sent a silent message more powerful than any confrontation. She was no longer defined by what she had lost. She was chosen, respected, cherished. When the ceremony ended, something had shifted between them. What began as a favor had transformed into a connection neither of them could deny. In that quiet moment, surrounded by echoes of promises made by others, they stood at the edge of something new, proof that sometimes the person who shows up when it hurts the most becomes the one who changes your life forever.